Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my top 10 books I would reread. If my TBR wasn't so big, I would reread them. I would really like to reread them in the future. So the first book out of my pile is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I read this in the beginning of the year and I just fell in love with it. It reminded me a bit of Across the Universe. I like the romance and I like the action and mystery, and it blended in so well together. But if you guys haven't read this book, or if you guys read Across the Universe and just loved it and want something else, I would recommend this book. The second book is coming out in December 22nd. The next book I have is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. But since I'm really into sci-fi now, I would just love the opportunity to reread this and try to see if my perspective has changed. But one thing that really frustrated me about this book is that there's no chapters. There's only parts. They just make me keep reading it because I don't know when to stop. And I hate stopping like in the middle of a chapter. It just really confuses me. And the next book are the Throne of Glass trilogy. Just really love it. Our main character is an assassin and that it's fantasy and I just don't know what to expect with each book. Selena in this book is such a kick-ass character. She goes on so many cool adventures that I just want to reread them again. So excited for the third book. I still have to pick up the novellas. How can you say no to these covers? She just looks even more badass on the covers. Just next books I would like to reread. Really hyped before it came on BookTube, and now they're still being like really hyped. But when I read them, I really didn't like them. And that is The Knife and Never Letting Go series by Patrick Ness. Now, other than the hype, I just started getting really confused, molded together in a jumbled up mess that just left me really confused. Everything was taking too long to happen. I thought I didn't get the love interests at all. Like, I was a kid. I want to see what my present perspective thinks of compared to my past perspective. The next book I would like to reread, I just recently read again, and that is Storm Dancer by J. Kristoff. I read this book last month. So if you're wondering why I want to reread it, it's because when I was reading it, in the beginning, I still got a bit confused. Yeah, reading the beginning, I was kind of confused. Like, with some of the characters and some of the perspectives that was going on. Other than, like, the awesome adventure, friendship, action, and fantasy that goes on in this book. Other than all that, I want to reread this book. These next books, you guys are just going to hit me for not rereading. And that is The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. I believe I reread The Hunger Games before. It's just been so long since I reread these books. And I remember I just love them. And since these are now movies, I should really reread. Before the first movie came out, me and my friends were saying that we were going to reread these books. And I haven't got to it because they were boring. My copies. Just loved them so much. I loved Mockingjay. I don't get why people hate it. And now the very obvious books that I would reread is the Blood of Eden trilogy by Julie Kagawa. Now you guys know how many times I reread The Immortal Rules. I love this trilogy. I love the characters. I love the action. The old new fashion vampires. So I would definitely reread the whole trilogy again since it's over. You guys just know my love for these. I don't need to explain myself. I don't feel the need to anymore. Now the next book I have reread many times in my childhood because this is like the very first chapter book I ever had. But this book was the very beginning of my love for books. And that is Inkheart by Carolina Funk. I have not reread this book in 2 years. I made a big deal of rereading this book each year just because it brought me into reading and it also brought me into BookTube. It's such a wonderful book. The next book is The Coldest Girl in Crowtown by Holly Black. This one, again, has a new play on vampires, but has really different themes that I haven't read in other books before. Plus the character was really funny in a way. Like times that she wanted to burst out laughing were kind of inappropriate times and she knew it. The last books I would really love to reread because the last book is coming out soon. And that is The Darkest Mind trilogy by Alexandra Bracken. The Darkest Minds I have not read in a year. And Never Fade I have yet to do a review on Never Fade. So that's kind of my reason why I want to reread it. I just want to talk about, but I want to reread it first. So anyways, that was my books I want to reread. Those are the books that I want to reread. What books do you guys want to reread? Comment below. I would very much like to know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And until next time, goodbye.